We look for the source of our inspirations, the source of why we're here. We tend to be grabbing and getting lost in endless distractions of the world, and yet the source of our being remains unaddressed.
So, Eli, I just wanted to say thank you for your work in the world. Um, Not many people know this, of our audience, but your work and that men's immersion, that 7-day immersion in Zion National Park in 2019, was absolutely central to my ability to create or co-create the 5G Summit 2 years ago. That I was transformed by that experience and came home with an idea and a plan to create the 5G Summit, which reached a lot of people and helped to spread that awareness. But I was feeling overwhelmed before. I was feeling I didn't have much energy, but I came home from that week supercharged, and I did like 30 interviews in a month to create that event on a very strong, very grounded energy. So that 7-day men's immersion that you hosted was central to that being created. And now there's your next 7-day immersion is coming up in October. So this is an invitation for those who resonate with it. But thank you so much for your work in the world and just for spending this time with us today and extending the information, the invitation to other men who are ready to go deeper. Tell us a little bit about the immersion, if you could, like what men can expect and what this is really about.
Well, I think at this point in time, it's more important than ever, because we can talk about it, and you and I could have a great conversation about the philosophical reasons of how we train sharpness and how we soften and feel the reverence for life, and that would be very beneficial. Yet talking about it's one thing. Training with a group of other men in an environment that's not controlled is where the skills drop out of an idea into the heart, into the physical and body, and then they're trustable. Yeah. Before that, it's how many of us have done that, where you've seen someone in a sports or a martial event, or you're seeing someone doing something, you think, I could do that. And then you try and it's not the case. It takes training. It takes whoever was doing that thing is probably was training and practicing that for years and years. And so this is it's an invitation for men that already have a practice of some kind, and men that are looking to develop a daily practice where that's their dedication. They wake up, and whether it's a breathing practice for 5 minutes or a qigong or a workout, that they ring the bell of what's most essential in their life, so that they, we, you, I can be a trustable source of consciousness, of like integrity, where we're living what we're talking about online and we're reading about and writing, we're living it in our body, in action, in a tangible way that everyone else can sense. It's either happening or it's not. So that's one of the strongest components of any live event, is it's real and you can feel it. So if someone walks up and they say, I feel really strong and I'm dedicated, I'm on purpose, and you've got 10 or 15, 20 other guys that go, yeah, it sounds good, but we don't feel it. We don't believe it, because the way that was communicated, or the posture it was communicated in, or all the subtle cues of where it's coming from don't line up in a way that we would want to jump on board and support that. And then the next question is, how would that? And so that's what the training is we give each other reflection, we support each other, we're sharp with each other when need be, but ultimately we're training the capacity so that our physical body, our intention, and our toss into the world line up. So we say something and it comes through an open body, open eyes, a loving disposition, rather than closed down, contracted, angry. Like, we've got lots of reasons to be closed and angry and contracted, no doubt, but that's not going to serve anyone. So part of what the training is how do you open the antenna of your body, mind? It's an antenna, so that we can transmit our gifts, our purpose, our vision into the world, and we can also receive transmission from other sources and from life itself. We can tune into what's happening and how do we best respond, succinctly.
And there's space for, was it 20 to 25 men total, right? I mean, this is not a huge gathering. This is a small, committed circle of men who want to be real, who want to go deeper, right? Is that about the size that can be expected?
Yeah, it's a small group. So it's actually, this year we are on the other side of the valley. Both sides are very remote.
The Zion National Park Valley, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So the ones you've come to, we were out in the wild where we were intense the entire week, no structures, amazing, but also tough on the body. It's not easy to be out there for a week. And this one, we're in between. We're still out there. We'll still be doing all kinds of amazing journeys out into the wilderness, going into caves, practicing outdoors, but we also have a structure and a kitchen and an indoor space to meet if the weather becomes intense. So it's a little bit of a best of both worlds, where there's a few rooms that people can stay in, which is nice.
Yeah. What I experienced I've been to two, 2019 and in the spring of 2021 this year, and what I experienced was such a powerful combination of boundary, sharpness, challenge, but yet held in a place of love, and being able to go deep into emotion even, and being real and speaking from that place of those parts of ourselves that are asking to be healed, asking to be transformed. And then 2 hours later, there's wrestling, or there's different things that are really about embodying. So this is not theoretical, this is embodiment. And for me, because I'm kind of up here a lot, it's so powerful and even this call, Eli, just a reminder of the simple practices for embodying that can really anchor in. But it's such a powerful, transformative combination of different activities and processes, from meditation to the stick toss, which is another kind of meditation, to the physical aspects, to the hikes, and to the qigong, and to going up the hoodoos, these amazing rock formations, and just being in circle, in presence there, and shutting off all communications for a week. I mean, this is like getting back to our roots and in our DNA and our heritage, and maybe our Viking heritage, or maybe the heritage where hunting and gathering and providing and serving life and serving the feminine, getting back to that. It's so rich. It's like a week of richness. So I'd like to share a 3-minute video, and then we'll come back with final thoughts and an invitation for those men who are resonating with that. So let's watch this video.
Great.
The men's immersion considers and cultivates a full spectrum of experience, from slow and contemplative to single-pointed and fierce. The more a man awakens, the more he knows and trusts his dynamic range of expression in all life circumstances. There's a beauty and a wildness in this landscape that calls forth qualities in men that are really necessary right now. It's a significant time. There's a lot of different voices about how to move forward as men, and that's a big conversation that we're all carrying with us, regardless of whether we're in a landscape like this or not. But for a group of men to come together and answer that question for themselves, that's where it needs to be answered. That process, it's a traditional hero's journey. It's coming to terms with where we're coming from and why we are the way we are, and then sitting with a group of men that are all permeable enough and free enough in their expression that they're not pigeonholed into a man should be this way or this is the only way. And so we get to really consider, what is it? What is your way? Within that, there always is integrity, and there's honor, and there's dedication. There's discernment, devotion. There's all of these qualities that have lived for a long time, and I think that's part of being a man these days, is learning how to hold and represent and live a life that's based on something that's real.
So tell us more about the specific event that's happening. What are the dates, and where can people find more information?
This year is the first time that I'm offering it in the autumn. Generally, it's a springtime immersion in May, which I offer annually. But this year is October 24th through 30th. It's in Zion, Utah. It's about a 2.5-hour drive from Vegas. We pick people up, and the best way to find out information is to look online. You can look up my website, eliburen.com. There'll be links for that. And look at the first event on there. It's the Zion Men's Autumn Immersion. And you'll find all kinds of information about it. And feel free to reach out if you have any specific questions of, is it for you? Is your physical body in shape enough? There'll be a whole dynamic group of men, from very in shape, outdoor kind of men to men that maybe have never done anything like this. And so we find the middle ground, and everyone gets stretched. And the most important piece that I just want to place in people's awareness is what we're really training here is the capacity of presence and depth through whatever we're doing. So we're doing lots of physical embodiment practices, traditions that we're practicing moving with presence.
Yeah.
Practicing have a conversation with depth. And the bridge is that those then become our life. So if we're able to move, speak, wrestle with those qualities, then when someone is doing something with their family, or putting their purpose out into the world, or whatever it is in the world, they're still coming from presence and depth, and that's what's being communicated across the bridge into that engagement. So that we're going upstream and training those most essential things, and then however men want to bring those into their life, that's their unique art, that's their personality.
Yeah. Thank you for making this available and opening this up at this time. I just really appreciate you and your work, and those men that are, feeling a resonance of being there are invited to come in. And one of the additional powerful things that I noticed and experienced about both of these immersions that I've been on is it's all kinds of men, right? It's all types of men, all ages of men. There was like an 18-year-old guy, and then a man in his late 60s, I think, 70s. Yeah. And it's just, everyone's got each other, we all got each other. And it's powerful. People coming in from different perspectives, different walks of life, different geographical locations. And it's like this melting pot of consciousness and realness. So thank you.
Yeah. Just say one last piece and then we'll seal it up, and we don't want to take too much time right now. Is the spring is a kind of a explosion with the season, and there's much more, like, we're out, we're crazy, we're running around, all kinds of stuff as men.
Yeah.
Autumn is a little bit more following the rhythm of the cycle. Autumn, we're going towards winter, we're going inward, so it's a deeper contemplation. There'll be lots of space to deeply consider our lives and the winter and the world we're entering, and how we want to step into that world and into this winter from a place of being resourced, clear, honest. So it's a big intention is to prepare ourselves for what's coming.
Yeah. And for those who are maybe, uncertain, or they want to know more and experience maybe a session that you hold, and you do online qigong, right?
Yeah, both qigong and I also do private coaching too, where I work with people on more specific topics that we go deeper into.
Yeah.
But you can find all of that on my website.
Excellent. Eli, thank you so much for this and for being a light and an inspiration to men in our world.
Thank you, Josh. It's a pleasure, an honor.